The situation in Los Angeles is anything but calm right now. The Lakers have just gone through one of their most hectic stretches of the offseason, and instead of things slowing down, all signs point to even more activity on the horizon. Over the last 24 hours alone, the front office has been extremely aggressive, reshaping the roster piece by piece, and now we're hearing chatter that could set up another big move. According to what was just discussed on SportsCenter, a new name is starting to dominate conversations around Rob Pelinka's next step, and that name is none other than former All-Star guard Jrue Holiday. Let's take some time to walk through everything that's been reported, because there's a lot happening behind the scenes, and the ripple effects could reshape the entire Lakers season. The last few days have been busy for the purple and gold. It began with the addition of Marcus Smart, a significant pickup that should be finalized soon. Then came the news that Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin had been waived, giving the team more flexibility with their roster spots. These weren't random transactions. Every move has been deliberate, and the expectation is that they're setting the stage for something much bigger. While many believed Los Angeles might be done making changes for now, new updates suggest the opposite. The latest word is that the Lakers are gearing up for more activity, and Holiday is emerging as a player worth watching closely. To understand why Holiday's name has momentum, we need to look back at the decision to waive Jordan. Goodwin. The Lakers could have chosen to keep him, or they could have structured things differently to protect space for the biannual exception. Instead, letting him go raised eyebrows across the league and triggered speculation that LA was creating room for a more impactful addition, and that's exactly where Holiday enters the picture. According to Grant Afseth of Fast Break Journal, the veteran guard is now firmly on the Lakers' radar. He's built a reputation as a proven postseason performer with elite defensive skills, the type of player who could instantly solidify Los Angeles' backcourt next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. From a resource standpoint, the Lakers still have enough ammunition to pursue someone of his caliber. They've got contracts that can be combined in deals, guys like Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and Dalton Knecht. And they're sitting on a future unprotected 2031 first-round pick plus a 2032 second. Those are valuable pieces. They've managed their assets carefully this summer, avoiding any major overpays, which means if the right opportunity pops up, they're positioned to pounce. Holiday might be exactly the type of opportunity Pelinka has been waiting for. Now, we should point out that there's no confirmation yet that the Lakers and Trailblazers have opened formal discussions, but insiders keep mentioning Holiday's name in connection with Los Angeles, and that's not happening by accident. The reason is simple. He fits. He's a championship guard, a two-way player who doesn't need the ball in his hands to make an impact, and someone who could easily slot in alongside LeBron. He's also the kind of defensive anchor the Lakers have lacked in their backcourt for stretches of the last few seasons. But there's a catch. Portland only just acquired him in a deal involving Anthony Simons, so it's unclear if they want to keep him as a veteran presence for their young core or flip him quickly for long-term assets. If it's the latter, the Lakers could be one of the teams best positioned to strike. Still, Holiday doesn't come without concerns. His contract is heavy, over $32 million owed this season, and he's still under contract for several more years, including a player option. At 35 years old, that's a massive financial commitment, and by the time his current deal ends, he'll be nearing 40. That puts the Lakers in a tough position. On one hand, he'd provide immediate help in their pursuit of another title run. On the other, it would lock them into an expensive deal for a player well past his prime by the end of it. The decision really comes down to whether the front office values short-term contention more than long-term flexibility. Even with those risks, the upside is undeniable. Holiday has been one of the league's best defenders for over a decade, earning 6 all-defensive selections in his 16-year career. Despite his age, he still moves well and can impact both ends of the floor. 2 years ago, he played a pivotal role in Boston's deep playoff push, and even last season he showed he's still capable of being an elite perimeter stopper. Offensively, he's more underrated than people give him credit for. His scoring dipped a bit with the Celtics, But that had more to do with playing alongside Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White than any real decline in skill. Holiday has always been a reliable shooter, hitting nearly 37% from three. Over his career, comfortably above league average. Last season, he averaged 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal per game in a crowded Celtics rotation. The real intrigue, though, is how he'd fit in with the Lakers' evolving roster. Pairing him with Marcus Smart in the backcourt would instantly create one of the most intimidating defensive duos in the NBA. Opposing guards would dread facing that kind of pressure. Imagine a small ball lineup featuring Luka Doncic, Smart, and Holiday, with LeBron and DeAndre Ayton up front. That's the kind of lineup that could smother teams defensively while still keeping enough offensive firepower on the floor. Of course, depending on who goes out in a trade, the rotation could look very different. If Rui Hachimura is part of the package, it opens even more lineup possibilities. Either way, adding Holiday would give Darvin Ham a lot of versatility in how he deploys his players. As of now, the Lakers' projected starting five looks something like Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and Ayton, with Smart and Jake LaRavia coming off the bench. That raises a big question about whether Reeves should remain in the starting group or shift to a sixth-man role. Some believe that moving Reeves to the bench could actually make the Lakers more balanced. It would give the second unit a reliable offensive creator and allow the starting group to focus more on defense. Reeves might not love the move after his breakout year, but from a rotation standpoint, it makes sense. One of the trade frameworks floating around would involve sending Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and Shake Milton, plus the 2031 first-round pick, to Portland in exchange for Holiday and Chris Murray. But with Milton already waived, that deal doesn't work anymore. To make the numbers add up, Los Angeles would need to swap in another contract, maybe someone like Dalton Knecht. That could make Portland more interested, especially if they want younger players. But then again, Holiday's large contract makes the math complicated regardless. So why didn't the Lakers go after Holiday back when Boston was moving him? Reports suggest there were concerns about his physical. Apparently, there were enough red flags that Portland adjusted the package slightly, even removing a second-rounder from the deal at the last minute. That uncertainty may have scared LA off originally. But now that he's available again, the Lakers might be more willing to gamble, especially given their urgency to maximize the final years of LeBron's career. The Lakers do have options. They've got nearly $40 million in expiring contracts, that unprotected 2031 pick, a 2032 second, and even some pick swaps. They could package a deal without touching Knecht, or they could sweeten the pot with him if Portland insists. However it shakes out, the possibility of Holiday in purple and gold is very real, and the pairing of him and Smart is the kind of defensive core that could take LA over the top. But that's not the only name linked to the Lakers. SportsCenter also highlighted Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Dante DiVincenzo as players the front office has at least kicked the tires on. Caldwell-Pope is particularly intriguing because of his history with the team. He was a key part of the 2020 championship squad, and since then, he's proven to be a dependable veteran defender and streaky but dangerous shooter. His time in Orlando didn't work out as hoped, and he's now on Memphis's roster after being included in the Desmond Bane trade. Because of the timing of that deal, he's still eligible to be moved, and the Lakers are reportedly interested in a reunion. Caldwell-Pope's value comes not just from his defense, but also from the way his contract lines up with the Lakers' long-term plan. He has a player option for the final year of his deal, and most expect him to pick it up. That means he'd only be locked in for one more season at around $21 million, perfectly fitting the Lakers' goal of maintaining financial flexibility for the 2027 offseason. He's 33 now, so it's unlikely he'll earn a bigger contract elsewhere. That makes him obtainable and realistic. If the Lakers want a steady 3-and-D wing who knows their system and can contribute immediately, KCP checks the box. DiVincenzo is a bit trickier. He's younger, cheaper, and on a very team-friendly contract at just under $12 million per year. He's versatile, plays with energy, defends multiple positions, and has playoff experience. The Lakers had interest in him during free agency, before he signed elsewhere, so the connection makes sense. The challenge is Minnesota's willingness to part with him. After acquiring him in the Julius Randle Karl Anthony Towns deal, the Timberwolves view him as part of their depth. They're in win-now mode just like the Lakers, which makes it tough to see them helping a we.